transactions. If someone was to approach you and say, hey, I'm considering to do real estate, what advice would you give someone like that? Welcome to Legacy Insights, the podcast where we dive into a world of broad topics, stories, fun, and sprinkled with real estate tips. I am your host, Steve Duff, and I am joined by two wonderful co-hosts, Christina Howard. Hi, Christina.
Hello, Steve.
Yeah. And the famous Franklin Morris.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, Franklin. Hey, I am excited. Today our topic is our Agent Spotlight of the Month. And I tell you what's so excited about our first agent that we're spotlighting. This young lady is a highly seasoned realtor that possesses many, many years of experience. Please welcome Lana East.
Thank you.
Hey,
very
so
much.
excited you're here.
Appreciate it.
Yes, Lana, we are so excited that you're here. Thank you, as Steve has said. So to get the conversation going, can you tell us and our listeners a little bit about you, about your family, what brought you to Grove, how long you've been here?
Sure. First and foremost, I'm a Texas native. My family and my husband's family are all there and very upset that we haven't returned. But we fell in love with the Grand Lake, I guess 28 years ago, almost 30 years. So
Wow.
we moved here in 96. And
It's home now.
it's home now. We planned to only be here 5 years, and then it was 5 more and 5 more and 5 more and 5 more. And so anyway, we have gained the best friendships and people from our church that we just truly love so much that we just do not ever want to go. So even though we love our family, our blood family, we've made this our home, and we've been very welcomed, and we don't see ourselves leaving anyway soon.
Well, I can tell you this area is blessed to have
Well,
you,
thank you.
and Todd and Nathaniel part of it.
Thank you. And that is one of the reasons we're not leaving is Nathaniel. So the Lord blessed us with him, in 2005, and he's a Tulsa native. And he absolutely loves it here, too. So it's his home, and we'll continue making it ours until he tells us something different, I guess. The grandbaby thing.
Yes.
So your husband, a lot of people in town might know him. A lot of
Yes.
our listeners might. Do you want to tell everyone who
Sure.
your husband
So
is?
the reason we moved here in 1996 is my husband had graduated from chiropractic school, and we were looking for a place to, open our practice. And of course, we both said we would never leave Texas. Those are the famous last words. But he sat by a very good, dear friend from Xena, Oklahoma, all through chiropractic school, and they were very close. So once we came up here to visit him, and we saw there were trees and water, being that we were from the desert, this was like the dream place.
Yeah.
So we actually looked around and decided to stay. And what's funny is our friend from Xena went to Texas. We flopped.
That is funny.
Isn't that wild?
Yes.
So anyway, that's how we ended up here. And we opened our first practice in J, and it's J Chiropractic Health and Rehabilitation. It's still our name, even though we've relocated to Grove. We're doing business as East Wellness here in Grove. And so that is my other job. I co-own that with my husband and manage it. And we absolutely love serving the Delaware County area and the 4 states. We have patients that drive here from Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma,
Wow.
Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, all different places. So anyway, what happened was I helped set up my husband. I was full-time in the office with him for probably 2 or 3 years, and then we had grown to where we needed help, and I got some office help in there that was fabulous and allowed me a free moment or two outside of the office. And I ran into Marty Dyer, who had just purchased Century 21 Waterfront Realty. And he said, "What in the world are you doing outside of your husband's office?" And I said, "Well, I'm out running errands, picking up supplies." And I actually saw him in the Christian bookstore that he and his dad co-owned. And he said, "Well, have you ever thought about being a realtor?" And I said, "A realtor? What's that all about?" And he said, "Well, I just bought a practice, and your name keeps coming up, and I'm trying to put together a Christian office, and I was just wondering if you'd be interested." And I was like, "You know what? My husband and I have been praying about something else, and so this just might fit in our lifestyle." And sure enough, it has. That was in 1999, so this is
Wow.
my 25th year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's so
Thank you.
funny how one encounter like that can totally change the path of your life.
Absolutely. It was an absolute perfect fit that I was not looking for myself. I knew there was something. My husband and I are school teachers. That's how we were previously trained. We have our bachelor's in teaching secondary education. So that's what we were doing in Texas before he went back to school to be a doctor. And so that was on my radar, was
Right.
getting my license, here in Oklahoma and teaching. So I was, substituting and covering for some teachers and things. But real estate was not on my radar, but God had a bigger plan.
Isn't it?
Now-
It's a really cool blessing that
It
how
is a cool
others
blessing.
can see something in you that you really don't see in yourself,
Yeah.
Yes.
and opportunities.
You know what my answer to him was? "You want me? I'm real estate retarded." I have no knowledge at all about real estate. At that point, we had been renters the whole time because we had gone from college, to university. And so we had never purchased a home. And he said, "That is exactly what I want. I want someone that has no knowledge."
Wow.
And that way that you can be trained, exactly how you should be and not have to relearn. And so it has just been wonderful. I mean, the people that I've been blessed to work with through the years have also been very phenomenal.
Now,
So,
Lena, you were
yes.
talking about 25 years. Some people are in a job for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. What has gotten you to stay in real estate for such a long time?
Well, not only because it fits my lifestyle, I'm able to work with my husband, and as a self-employed realtor, you can set your own hours and work it around your lifestyle, which is awesome. But also because it is me. It's me. I don't know how else to say it. It's my personality. It's what I love, building relationships with people and then helping them and seeing the results of what you've helped, them find a home, and that they're very satisfied. And as a matter of fact, a lot of my real estate customers have been my really good friends. We've
That's
continued our
excellent.
relationships. So
What a great response.
thank
I
you.
mean, that is a
Absolutely.
great response. I mean, that just sums it all up. But
Wow.
you hear so many people wanting to get into real estate, and you develop those friendships with the individual, and you have a wonderful personality
Thank
for
you.
it, and
I can tell you that most of the people that I've worked with have just been phenomenal. There are, it is somewhat scary. So, when you're a woman and your husband or your father, your brother says, "You're going to go riding around with strangers?"
right.
They really don't. They're more concerned about your safety and everything. But the screening process, if it's done correctly, works out very well. And then also, I love on the weekends taking my husband or my son with me, and we make a whole day out of it, and it becomes a family affair.
Absolutely. So, is there one thing that you could narrow down and say that you enjoy the most about being a real estate agent?
I guess it would probably be my friendships. One of my dearest and closest friends that I put her on all of my emergency contact information was
Oh, wow.
one of my customers.
Wow.
Wow.
So I helped her sell her home and helped her find another home, and we did a nursing home ministry together when Nathaniel was a little boy, and so that allowed us to hook up weekly, and we just grew our friendship from there. We're still really good friends.
Wow. How cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. So yes, that's it. I just look so forward to, meeting
The
people.
relationships
The
that you're
relationship.
building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I could see that.
Yep. It's been a very awesome blessing because not only are those people now located, in our community, but you can help them find a church home. You can help
Yeah.
them,
Right.
sometimes they're looking for jobs and we are hearing, being already established in the community of who needs help and you're able to assist them with that. And
You find
So
that
it's really
you're
neat.
not just helping them buy a house, but you're helping them become a part of the community.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is really important.
It is.
Maybe more so than just the house.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have had that, my husband and I, in the beginning, but we were very young and we built our first home. But the people in Delaware County were fabulous to us when we first moved here and very welcoming. So it is a very loving community.
It is.
And so, anyway, that helps too.
Yeah, I can second that about Grove. I know people are very friendly. I have so many different stories I could share about that, but I'm so thankful for this area.
Absolutely. My fear when we moved here from Texas was that the people wouldn't be as friendly.
Yeah. You don't think that Oklahoma-Texas rivalry could...
Well, I tell you what, we are UT fans. We got to keep holding them horns for those Texas family members. So, we got to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
where
the
you
Red
draw it.
River. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but anyway.
Well, do you have one favorite or funny story or something that sticks out over the years for you with real estate?
Well, I think the when I look back, the best memories, believe it or not, were selling real estate with my newborn baby.
I believe that.
Yes, we adopted Nathaniel when he was a newborn, 2005 in Tulsa. And I had just started my career, it was taking off and the referrals were coming in. And literally, it was ringing as I was walking in the door bringing Nathaniel home from the hospital,
Wow.
So it was at a point where I didn't really want to let it go, but I also knew my baby was number one. This was my ministry, was to raise my son. So I was torn, but the Lord showed me right quick, you can sell real estate with a newborn, because that's why I was being blessed, was to show me that, you don't have to eliminate one thing because
Right.
something else is entering into the picture. So I was concerned it wasn't very professional, to have a little baby while you're showing houses, but I would just always mention it before I went out with a customer, and honestly, not one single person complained or said no. So I was able
They
to.
probably loved it.
Well, I think they did because I sold a lot of homes when
Yeah.
he was in I did.
He was your co-listing
He
agent.
was. He should have won an award. I think
Yeah.
it was him. But anyway, that was just a true little sweet thing that I get to look back on. Is I even had him on my business cards with me in the picture in the photo, just so people would know. He's coming along.
package
It's
deal.
a package deal.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a potential of Nathaniel becoming a realtor?
I don't know. It's funny that you say that because when he got up like 4, 5, 6 years old and I would take him with me, he would like open the doors and go through the closets. And I was like, Nathaniel, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm showing him the house. So he was just repeating, what he knew.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought he might head in that direction. But so far, not yet. He's, just trying to get through college right now. So I wouldn't doubt, though, if he falls back on that because he has the knowledge.
Yeah, he definitely has the personality for it,
Yes,
too.
he does.
You cannot say no to Nathaniel.
Well, thanks. I think so, too.
Well, we know a great place if he decides that he
Exactly.
wants to do that.
So I guess along the lines, you had mentioned early on about the flexibility, the being able to schedule your own time, the personal connections. If someone was to approach you and say, hey, I'm considering to do real estate. What advice would you give someone like that?
Well, in the beginning, you really should have another steady income
True.
because real estate, what I've learned over the last 25 years, is a roller coaster. It's very busy and it's very slow. There's hardly any just consistency to it. And, there's a lot of factors, depending on the year, the time of
Right.
year, or the weather, or the politics, or whatever.
Right.
But once you get established, I would say probably after your third, fourth, and maybe fifth year, then you start getting referrals, and then the consistency picks up. And then it might be something you could budget paying your bills with.
Right.
So that's what I always suggest is don't just go cold turkey, into it, because no matter how many leads you have on your first day, they'll come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
And then you got to start working for some more leads.
You have to pound on a lot of doors.
That's
Yes.
right.
So to
That's
speak.
right.
That's
Good
great
advice.
advice.
So thank you. That would be it. And I try not to, be too negative with folks whenever they want to start, but I will tell them the truth, because I certainly wouldn't have been able to hang in here this long if we didn't have my husband's,
Right. Right.
job to consistently pay our bills, because there were actually several crashes, real estate market crashes, in that time frame there, that you can go months and months and months without anything.
Right.
So
And what would be one of the best pieces of advice that you could give someone about selling their home or buying a home?
well, my, of course, favorite thing is that if you pick a realtor, it needs to be someone that you trust. And usually that comes from a really good referral. So somebody had a really good experience with their realtor, and then they share with you. And then they tell you why they had a good experience. And it's typically because the communication is good. That's what I preach. That was my degree in college. That's what I taught in high school. And so my favorite thing is staying in close communication. So don't let more than a day or two go by without visiting and speaking throughout the process, so that you can stay on the same page and everyone's aware of, what their future goal is in case it changes or something was misunderstood. You can get all of that out up front, and it doesn't come back to haunt you at the end. So
Communication is so important in our world.
it is.
It avoids any. I mean, it's already a. Whether you're buying or selling, there is a certain level of anxiety that's involved with
Absolutely.
it. There's the unknown. You've got to be at certain places, certain times. You got to sell your house in order to buy
So
this
many
house.
steps.
Oh yeah, and you're dealing with, you're dealing with third party, whether it's an appraisal, the lender, that are just kind of unknowns out there
Yeah.
for a little while, and to be able to communicate with a realtor. And Lana, I'm sure you are amazing at this, but to help walking through that, help them understand the process.
Right.
And I think that kind of helps alleviate maybe a little bit of anxiety.
It does.
part.
And,
They're not in it alone.
Right. And they will share. And if they don't share, this is where you really got to glean that information right up front. If they've bought a home before, how much information do they need from you?
Yeah.
How much help are they going to want? And typically, if it's their first home, they'll say, please hold my hand every single day,
Yeah.
because I have no clue.
What's next?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so those people you'll probably actually communicate with more. Then you'll have your very tenured people that have bought lots and lots of homes, and they hardly need any of your help.
Right.
But I still like talking to them on a regular basis, just letting them know where we are in the process and if they have any questions and
Right.
is there anything else I can do, just to hear their voice and them hear yours is a confidence builder.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And a relationship builder.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my favorite part. I know a lot of people probably dread that, and if you do, real estate's probably not for you. but you really have to enjoy communicating and talking to people. And of course, I can't go more than 30 minutes.
Lana
favorite
and
thing to
I
do.
first met. She came into my store to buy closing gifts, I think,
Yep.
for her real estate clients. And then she came back again to buy them for the office girls, for the Dr. East office. And definitely she's so easy to make a connection with because we connected the first time we met.
did.
That was the day we became friends.
Yep.
And just made that connection. And I could just tell that she was a genuine person and she had a heart for the Lord and loved her family and loved her work.
Well, and so did you, Christina. So when my parents came to visit, guess where I took them?
Yeah.
To her store.
I got to
meet
meet your
Christina.
family. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
So yes, we
absolutely.
have a lot in common.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
That was a sweet connection.
And it's why I'm here today.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
I said, Christina, you have to come. No, I didn't.
Well, I knew that if Lana was happy at Legacy, then that was something that I needed to check into. And then when she told me that Steve, was the broker here, I thought, really? Okay.
And we've had that from several.
Yes, for
That
sure.
whether they are agents considering us or even prospective clients, when they hear Lana is a part of our team,
Thanks.
it does.
Well,
It has
because she
made.
has a certain reputation and you know her standards.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's a blessing
you.
to get to work
Thank
with her.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. Do you have any parting words that you would like to say, Lana?
Well, only that I hope to continue selling real estate for many, many more years,
Well, we
and give
do
me a
too.
call. It's my most favorite thing to do, other than spend time in the office with my husband's patients. I love doing that too. But this gives me an opportunity to be, one-on-one and to actually be able to help them myself. So
I heard it said not long ago that enthusiasm sells. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. That confidence, that enthusiasm, even they place that higher than knowledge.
yeah, right.
And I think that's where you've been so successful, Anna, because you're so consistent in your
She has both.
enthusiasm. Yeah, and your energy and what you'd mentioned about finding an agent that you can trust.
Yes.
I think that's so important too, but one that shows visibly that they care and is huge.
Well,
That-
thank you. And there is a lot to learn about real estate, and it takes a long time to feel very confident in, all the aspects of getting to a closing date.
Yeah.
And so, in the beginning, that's what I was leaning on, was just, selling myself and being friendly. And, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find the answer and I'm going to help you as much as I can. There was a lot of trying to find the answers from my broker and fellow realtors. Whereas now, I can rest a little more comfortable and
We come to you.
Absolutely.
other than all the new technology, I do feel like I have a handle, hopefully, and can answer most questions without having to ask.
Very good. We're certainly proud to have you part of the
Thank
Legacy
you.
team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Franklin,
it.
any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. What type of real estate property do you sell or help sell?
Well, I will help sell anything. When you call, I love commercial. For some reason, I've ended up with several commercial properties through the years, and I think once you sell a commercial property, then someone else will call and ask you to help sell theirs, which a lot of realtors do not do. I don't know why, but also, any home on the lake or in and around Grove is, fantastic benefit to living here because the homes are so gorgeous and so fun. And, we get to advertise we're in a lake community. And So I actually like to sell lots and land. I've sold farms. So just whatever you have, I will try to help you get it sold.
All right, that's good to know.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Legacy Insights, and a big thank you to our wonderful guest, Lana East with Legacy Real Estate, and for sharing her insights and experiences with us today, which are vast. We hope you, our listeners, have found this episode as enlightening and as enjoyable as we have. Your support means the world to us, so please consider liking our podcast channel that you're listening on, and also share this podcast with your friends and family. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and remember, the legacy continues.